We have a question from Jason who says, what about patients with severe IC? What about patients with intractable pain? What are doctors and researchers doing for those patients that have failed all existing therapies? It seems a lot of medications get recycled over and over again, and that not a lot of new medications are available for IC. Everything that's used is off-label. Will that change at all? Will we have more medications or treatments directed specifically for IC? So these are lots of questions all in one.
Yeah, and lots of good questions, and every single one of them could warrant a significant sort of response. I would start off with in terms of what are doctors doing for IC or for intractable pain or for failed existing therapies. There's always constant research going on, and there are actually there's always a few studies that are exciting. And to this day, there's still many studies that are exciting about new medications, and not just recycled medications. One of the reasons we see recycled medications is because getting FDA approval is quite difficult, and as I said before, quite expensive. So a lot of times they'll sort of recycle or repackage or combine different medications because it's cheaper. And sometimes there is definitely a market for some of those medications. They found a little niche, but it's cheaper to sort of combine those therapies than to come up with a completely new product. You can spend hundreds of millions coming up with a new product, and it never even sees the day of light on the market. But there are new therapies always with not only medications, but also non-medication routes. There's always research in new devices. There's always research, depending on what the disease state is. There's always research with new implants, new surgical techniques, things like that. Finally, there's always research, and there has been, and fortunately we've been able to expand the scope of this research is with stem cell research. There's always, the hope that we can find some of these more debilitating, and definitely more, some of the more life-threatening diseases. We're hoping that we can find that there are just a few genes that are key in terms of triggering these disease states, and we might be able to have stem cell intervention to sort of help prevent these diseases or to cure these diseases. I mean, it's so exciting. I've always thought for many years that one of these days, I don't know if it's 20 years from now or when it is, but we might be able to do stem cell for disc replacement. I mean, that would be amazing, right? We wouldn't have the multi-level fusions and the debilitating failed back surgeries and all those things. Those would almost be a thing of the past. And who knows when that's going to happen? Who knows if it's going to happen? But it's always exciting as a scientist, as a researcher, as a physician. It's always exciting to sort of see those things. Will we see medications? One of the questions is it seems that everything's used off-label, and will we see that changing for IC? There are some medications specifically approved for interstitial cystitis, but for the majority of the situation is they're approved for other things and they're used off-label. And again, the reason is it's cost prohibitive to get multiple indications for IC when the usages is going to be relatively low. You may not recoup the costs of doing that. So you are going to see a lot of things used off-label. What's the problem with using things off-label? It all comes back to an insurance issue. When things are used off-label, it gives the insurances an excuse to deny the treatment.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Well, one of the things he could do would be to go to the ICA website and see if there's some research projects he might want to be a participant in.
Absolutely. Yeah, they have some listed on there.
So you go to ichthelp.org, and that might give him some hope for the future.